Rev up your engines! Now, drinking and driving has been a problem ever since people started driving cars. Combine two things. They like driving around in cars and they like drinking. But the two don't mix all that well. Anybody who says they drive better when they had a few drinks is out of their mind and they're not facing reality. It slows down reaction time. And in extreme cases, when people are really drunk, they're all over the road. You can see them 2 o'clock in the morning, say you're coming back from fishing or something. 2 o'clock in the morning, there's a lot of drunks out on the road. You see them swerving all over the place. Drinking and driving should never be mixed. Now, in 1927, a guy by the name of Dr. Bogan, he invented a large football-sized device that could be blown into, and by the color changes, they could tell the level of blood alcohol. The problem was, it was such a giant device, it wasn't really any good for field sobriety tests. But then, a Dr. Rolla Harger invented a smaller one that could measure it, and by 1938, they could actually use it. The Indiana State Police, I believe, were the first ones, and they dubbed it the Drunkometer. You can't make that stuff up. It was actually used by the police out on the highway. And then in 1954, Dr. Borkenstein invented the more or less modern breathalyzer. Much simpler, compact device. And in the 1970s, that became electronically operated, so it was a very simple device to do a field breathalyzer, just blowing into the thing. And today they use that. The blood alcohol limit is 0.08. If it's above that, then you're legally drunk and it can arrest you. So how can you prevent this? Really easy. Don't drink and drive. Now, if you got a sober driver driving the car, hey, the passengers can drink as much as they want. Just don't share it with the driver. But if you do drink and drive, and you don't kill anybody, obviously you don't kill yourself, and get your license back eventually, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to have to deal with one of these Intoxalock drunk analyzers. And you're also going to have to pay for it. Realize it's coming out of your pocket. And guess what? It won't let you start your car till you prove you're not drunk. We didn't do anything? Aha, nothing. It will not start. This measures your blood alcohol content, goes through the wires into the car, and no, that's not a flask of gin. That's just atomizer for cologne. But it does have a reasonable amount of alcohol in it, so you don't want to spray it all over yourself when you're testing the machine. It might make it look like you're drunk when it was just your cologne. And in case you're a cheater, look at this. It's got a cool little camera. It's watching you. So if you hand it to your friend who's sitting next to you, not driving the car, it will know and keep a record of it. Try cheating this breathalyzer, and you may not ever be able to drive again. They'll have records of you cheating, and you may never get a driver's license back. This is what you have to do if you've been a bad boy or girl. You turn it on, and it's clearing. It's getting ready. Then it tells you to blow. So you start blowing. And here we go. Now it starts. Now it does give you a little bit of a break. Let's say you shut the car off and get out. Then what happens is the computer knows you get out of the car. Go back in, and you can see it says it's waiting, and you have 1 minute and 55 seconds that you can go back in the car, and without having to blow in it, you can go and you can start it up. As you can see, it does give you that much of a break if you stop and go and quit coming in and out. Let's say you're kind of a knucklehead. You pass the test, then you go get some booze and start drinking. Well, while you're driving down the road, every so many minutes, it knows and it makes you blow while you're driving down the road. It's got that nice little camera there watching you. So it knows that who's blowing it. Maybe your friends are blowing it in the front seat. They moved up. It knows. So you might think, what a pain in the butt. Well, control yourself. Don't drink and drive. And you don't have to worry about this in the first place. And when you consider the immense amount of people who are maimed and killed in the United States because of drunk drivers, you should be happy that they're even letting you drive after you got caught drunk driving. So now you know all about drunk driving. If you want to get drunk, stay at home and watch a hockey game or a football game. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.